Hi there, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please feel free to have a look around. I've tried to incorporate some kind of controversial topics into my channel lately, so please have a look at those. I'm just trying to mix it up a bit and cover a wider variety of topics. So what I want to talk about today is actually something that just popped into my head, and I received a message from Spirit that I needed to pass it on. So I don't know how this message will resonate with you or if it will resonate. I'm sure for more than a handful of people it will actually have some personal meaning. Obviously, the meaning of the general message would differ from person to person, but I'm going to tell you what happened to me yesterday, and then I'll tell you the lessons that I learned with this experience. So there is a little bit of a backstory to it, so please just bear with me. I'll try not to go off topic too much. So basically, the backstory to this is that a few months ago my cell phone broke. And I could still use it, but the screen was cracked really badly through no fault of my own. And I didn't have the money to get it repaired because I figured that the repair cost would be more than to actually replace the phone to buy a new phone. So I just left the phone and I tried to still use it. I couldn't type certain letters on the keypad, but I could still send voice notes and I could use the predictive text to at least send very short texts. Anyway, a friend of mine, a person that I thought was a friend, hard lesson to learn, she actually used to be my colleague. So she's my ex-colleague at the other place where I worked before the lockdown. So this friend arranged to meet me for a get-together the one day, and she had brought two of her old cell phones along to the get-together, along with a cell phone charger and something else that I really could not use. So the way I am, I'm always eternally grateful for anything and everything that people could possibly give me, especially when I'm in need. So the one cell phone was also like cracked beyond repair, but the other one was one of her old phones and it was in a generally good condition. So I didn't switch on the phone and check what was going on with the phone, and if I had, I would have probably seen that there was a password on there that no one knew about. But anyway, so I opened the slot where the SIM card is supposed to go in, and I saw that my SIM card would not fit in there. So I had already been to my service provider to have my SIM card cut because it was too big to fit into the phone that I was using at the time, the broken one. And obviously I couldn't go back to the shop to have it cut even more. What needed to be done was a SIM swap. Now the phone is a contract phone, and the contract was not in my name. It was actually in my uncle's name, and my uncle had given me this phone like a long time ago, or he had given me a phone that came as part of that actual contract. So anyway, every time he upgraded, he gave me the new phone. And that was the phone that I'd been using, or I want to say the SIM card and the cell phone number that I'd been using. So I took these phones from my friend and then realized, I can't use it because I need my uncle's permission to now do a SIM swap. And it was a big mission because he wasn't available at the time to write a letter giving his permission. And I said I would write the letter and he could sign it. And needless to say, it was just a big deal. And I realized I'll have to leave the phone for a bit and just manage with my broken phone. So I then sent my friend a message telling her about this whole dilemma that I was facing. And she was very, very rude about it. She actually sent me the rudest voice notes imaginable. She said to me something in the line of, "You can't let other people control you to this extent. Why don't you just change your number?" She said to me, "You don't have a business. You really need to just like take control of your own life type of thing and move on. I said, you know what? It's not that simple because I actually started a business during the lockdown. The Sunflower Spirit is my business. It's not only my YouTube channel, I actually have a Facebook page. You can check it out, The Sunflower Spirit. And on this page, I advertise my services that I offer to people, where I do tarot readings, pendulum readings, astrological charts, dream interpretation, etc. So I said to this friend that actually I need to keep my cell phone number because everyone who knows me has this number, and I really don't want to start all over again with a different cell phone number when this one is connected to my whole life, all my social media accounts, my email, literally everything. You don't know how much anxiety that would have caused me if I were to actually change my cell phone number. Something small like that can cause me this much anxiety. Anyway, so I left the phone, but then a while ago, my boyfriend had cell phone trouble as well. And I thought, well, I've got this phone that my friend gave me, so why not check it out? And in this case, his SIM card actually did fit into that phone. But then there was a new problem. When I switched the phone on, I saw that there was one of those funny grid locks, where you have to trace the pattern and then the phone unlocks. So I contacted my friend and I asked her, please give me the unlock method. Please tell me what the little thingy is to unlock the phone. And she was not able to tell me. She said her daughter had used the phone and that they needed to see the phone in person to actually figure out the code. So again, I had a problem. I left the phone alone. But then I thought, you know what? I'm busy cleaning out my stuff, getting rid of clutter, and I'm sitting with these 2 old cell phones and 2 chargers and weird thingies that I'm not able to use, that I didn't ask for, although I was grateful at the time. But these things were just taking up unnecessary space. And I thought I should just give it back to her because I can't use any of it. And after all, these things don't belong to me. And, I just really just had the best intentions. I wanted to give these things back to her. So I contacted her like 2 weeks ago and she said, it's all good because she actually wanted to ask me for the phones back. And we arranged to meet the following week, which was last week. She said she would stop by my house. She knows where I stay. I'd given her my address before and we had a coffee date, whatever. So then I told her which days I'm busy and which days I work, which is like Thursday through to Saturday and occasional Sundays. So I said to her, if you don't mind, please can we meet Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday because, I'm not free every day. She was free every day at the time because she's a school teacher and her school had school holidays. So she was completely free any day of the week. But I waited every single day of that week. She didn't come. So I left it. Then on Sunday, I worked an extra shift. So I was like exhausted by the time I got home. I was finished. And I switched my Wi-Fi on and there's a message from her saying, are you working today? Can I come by? And I was like, I've just got home after working a 5-hour shift in a swimming pool. My body is so exhausted and this was not planned. So I'm a Taurus, and I don't like plans changing. I can't cope with a change in plans. I'm not flexible in that way, especially if I have to arrange my whole day around something else. So I said to her in a very polite way, I'm sorry, I told you I work on weekends and we already have things planned and can we please do it some other time? So she then arranged with me to meet me and my daughter Wednesday, which is today, for an ice cream at my local shopping center. And I have to add here that it's such a stupid, silly story because, yes, I could have just dropped the phones off at her workplace. But now I have to tell you that her workplace is really far from my home. And for me to actually drive there would cost a lot of petrol money. And look, I'm not comparing situations, but she's in a position where she can spend the extra petrol money to come to my neighborhood. So she did say that it was okay and that she would come to my area on Wednesday, which is today. So yesterday I sent her a message asking, is everything still okay? I just want to confirm. And at first she said yes, and then the second message came through saying, I'm actually not sure because I'm going back to work and I'll let you know if I can make it. And boom, there's the next message saying, what are you doing today? So yesterday in my country was a public holiday, Freedom Day of all days, the lack of freedom I experienced. And I said to her again in a very polite way that, listen, we actually already have plans. She then forced me to tell her what the plans were, where we were going to spend the day. And this was after I told her that I really wanted to spend the day with my family. You know, my partner has a tough job, he works long hours, and he hardly ever gets a day off, a day free to himself. So I was like, you know what, this is not okay. We made arrangements 3 times already. Well, that was the third time. 2 times already, this person let me down by changing plans, chopping and changing, just messing with my head. And she had already been really nasty to me in the past. And I really just wanted to give her the cell phones back. I did not want to cause a big drama, to cause a big issue. But in the process, I ended up getting hurt because I wanted to please my friend by then saying, okay, I'll check with my partner if you can actually join us today. And I wanted to please my partner by then saying to him that, listen, I'll tell my friend no, because you wanted to spend time with us as a family and I wanted to spend time with us without another person. It's not how the day was planned. It was not my intention of spending the day like that. But then it caused a major blow up. My partner was then cross with me because he felt like I'd actually allowed this person to join us, and he said to me, like, why did you have to confirm with her today? Why couldn't it have waited? I said, you know what, I like planning things in advance, and I did not know that she would change plans and then basically invite herself to just join us on an outing that we had already planned as a family outing. But needless to say, I then sent her a message and said, you know what, I told her the truth. I said, this just caused so much chaos in my life. I said, sorry, but you should have just stuck with your original plans. I said we had made arrangements for Wednesday. You should have just stuck with it. And if it was a problem for you, you should have just postponed or whatever. Or I should have just dropped the damn phones off at your place, at your workplace. You know, it was just, it caused so much chaos for me. You can see I'm like, my head feels like it wants to explode any second. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's not always easy to say no. If I'd said no, if I'd been honest with my friend from the very beginning, if I'd said no, politely but firmly, then it could have avoided all this unnecessary drama. Yet, I did not want to make her unhappy. I wanted to please her and I wanted to please my partner, but I didn't realize that it would be to my detriment. It would be at the expense of my own happiness. So what I wanted to say is that you can't please everybody. You know what? Sometimes you need to look out for number one first. Because if your needs are not met, you can't be the best version of yourself. If you're constantly giving and giving and giving too much of your space, too much of your time, too much of your energy to other people, it will leave you feeling depleted. And that is all I wanted to say. I hope that this message resonates with someone out there. I'm sorry for all the chit chat, but I needed to give you the backstory first. And I wanted to say that first of all, it's good for me to have an outlet because people are not always willing to listen. And secondly, I just like giving people advice and helping people. And I hope that someone can learn something from this message or take something from this message. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you're all well. Bye for now.